Thank you very much for staying with us. Let's settle down for the details of our stories now. We start with issues relating to security and the recent increase in the spate of jailbreaks. And the residents of Bunkprugu in the northern region are living in fear as a result of clashes between two chieftaincy groups, the Jamong and the Jafong clans, both Bimobes. Details of that will be coming up. Now, the issue of jailbreak has come up quite strongly in the last few days, and the Interior Ministry says it is collaborating with the police service to implement measures that will prevent further jailbreaks in prisons across the country. There have been several major cell breaks reported in the last few months, including one at Denu, where 7 prisoners escaped, although 4 of them have been rearrested. Recently, 2 prisoners escaped from the Tepa police cell in Asiwa in the Ashanti region after they reportedly used some tools to break the metal bars in the cells. However, the Deputy Interior Minister, James Agalga, has assured the public that the ministry is working with the police to find solutions to curb this recent menace. And we have been joined on the line. We've been joined on the line by Nanaya Akwada. He is with the Bureau of Public Safety to find out really the conditions in terms of safety for persons who are in police cells and also in prisons, and how well government or stakeholders for that matter can help ensure that at least, although they have been incarcerated, there is some amount or level of safety and security for them. Good afternoon, Nanaya, and thank you very much for your time.
A very good afternoon to your viewers.
All right. I'm sure the concern of the jailbreaks has also come to your attention. First of all, what do you make of it, and how do you think that the issue of safety and security for inmates must come to the table for discussion?
Well, let me begin by commending the police for a very good work done in regard to rearresting quite a sizable number, majority of those who broke jail in Denu and the other side in recent times. I think that the police, even though we faulted their level of engagement with the public in rearresting these escapees, they have done a very good job, and it needs to be commended. Talking about the safety of inmates and probably the public at large, I think it's a very big issue. It's a very broad subject to look at, and you cannot talk about inmates, the safety of inmates, without looking at our judicial system, the legal system, the system that put these people behind bars. I think that in a country where we could have people be on remand in excess of 8 years, 10 years, some of 14 years, is nothing good to write home about. And if we want to look at the safety and security of incarcerated persons, we must begin to address issues with our judicial system, the system that puts these people behind bars. And then we also have to go ahead to look at the training of the people who are supposed to take care of these inmates. Elsewhere, we train, such people are trained such that even in the jail, within the jail service or within the incarceration system, inmates do not see themselves as lesser human beings than those who are taking care of them. We have a system here that is largely very poor, and this I'm making reference to several countless reports issued by human rights organizations and so on and so forth.
Right.
I think that we must address that. And addressing that particular issue is not only incumbent on government. Indeed, government must take the lead role in addressing such issues of conditions within the prisons itself or our cells itself. But civil society can contribute to improving conditions in our jails. It is important because with human beings largely play on survival instinct. So if we put people behind bars and conditions behind bars are so harsh, they are so dehumanizing, then people are more likely to revolt against the system.
But one other
issue
that comes up for concern is the safety of the public or the society in which these criminals, if we want to call it that, or these persons who were in jail are coming from, because there is a possibility that there are people in these communities who reported them, which led to their arrest. Now, how safe are these people when the criminals or the people who were in remand escape? Because there is a fear they could come back and, haunt them.
Well, it is true. That's why our prison system must be reformative enough. The prison system must be reformative enough. The issues or the chances of people coming back with vendetta exists all over the world. It is the system that makes it, the system must be such that you do not get enough incentive to apply yourself in crime. Because if we are living in a system where people are 80% of the chance people are likely to get away with crime, and this is according to a report, the police's own report, that people are 80% of the chance people have the opportunity to get away with crime. If we live in such a system, it's easy for inmates or escapees or people who have finished serving their term to go out there and target people who led the role or people who triggered the
arrest.
People who triggered it all for them to get behind bars. But if we are able to establish a very tight system, accountable system, social accountable system, security and intelligence accountable system, very, very tight, people would always know that it is not in their interest to go on a crime spree, because whatever happens, the long arm of the law will grab them. But we are in a system, sorry to say, that our investigative system, or if you like, if you look at the police forensics lab, it's so poorly resourced. If you look at our crime record management, it is so poorly, established that it's so difficult. Sometimes we just have to rely on people's own memory to know that somebody is an ex-convict or somebody is an ex-criminal and so on and so forth. So the system itself is challenged. And that is what sometimes provides incentives for people to say, we want to come out and, go on a course of vendetta on people who, led the process to get us incarcerated. But to a large extent, I think that the society must come together to begin to give out criminals. And once criminals know that they will be smoked out wherever they are, whatever they are doing, they will be more cautious. Somehow be, measured in applying themselves in crime.
Right. We'll have to leave it here for now. Thank you very much. You heard Nanaya Akwada. He is with the Bureau of Public Safety. And staying on this issue of jail breaks and cell breaks, my colleague William Evansinkum from the Ashanti region has more on this, where the Bosome Frehu District Assembly now have to rely on volunteers to, give them information and also to give public information to the police to help them in that regard. So if you can hear me, do kindly give us an update of what is happening there. So in your shot now, you can see our reporter who is also going through the prisons where we are told that the inmates escaped from, and they are giving us some live footage of how they managed to escape.
Because we didn't see any implement that. We didn't get an implement around this place.
All right. So he doesn't know the instrument that they used to cut this very place, even though we were told that they used a hacksaw. And as to how they got hold of that particular instrument still remains a puzzle. But the district assembly has done something about it at the moment. Very soon we'll be speaking to the district chief executive, because all those places have been firmly sealed with concrete to avert any future escape as far as maintaining law and order in this particular area is concerned. So let's just get out and then get closer to where they used as their escape point though we've given you where they were staying, or yes, as far as this particular police station is concerned, where they were held, but let's just get closer to the outside the walls of this particular police station and then see where they used as their escape point. So what happened?
I think some people brought some implement and give to the inmates in the cells.
Okay.
And they caught the place and they escaped.
All right. So the instruments were either sneak through the police station or outside, and they used one of these gadgets or tools to cut the rod open and then escape from here. So that is it. But as I'm speaking to you now, you are the only officer here.
Sergeant.
You are the only.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm called Sergeant Opoku.
All right. So you are manning this place at the moment.
Yes, please.
Okay. Now that brings a bit of a security lapses here, because in case there's too much crime, reported today, what are you going to do?
Oh well, because I'm alone here at the moment. If there is a case reported to me and I think I can not take control, I will take it to my appropriate quarters, like Bekwai, so that I will detain them there.
All right, let me speak to the chairman of the District Security Council, the DC for Bosome Freon, Honorable Kwame Adakwa. Sir, security situation is not the best here.
Yeah, I can confirm it's not the best.
Now, with this huge edifice, only one policeman manning the area.
There are 5, but because of the problem, I think they have been called to Bekwai. So it has left only Sergeant Opoku here. That's the reason why I've called some volunteers. They are sitting under the tree, so that if in case something happened, they were sitting.
Now, I think this is one sensitive area. If you look at, small-scale mining is becoming an emerging venture as far as Bosome Freho is concerned. You need to tighten up security, at least from a layman perspective. You need to tighten up security. So with the current situation, how would you describe security here currently?
It's God. It's only God who prevents us. Because since I assumed office, I've been trying to get more men, but it seems. But recently, about say 2 months or 3 months ago, regional commander himself came here. I told him my story, and he agreed and promised to give us even more men and district commander. But he told us to do some works, renovations, and hire some rooms for them. We are ready, and we sent a letter about last week to him. So we are waiting for the men and the commander.
All right. So even before this very incident, the station used to have only 5 policemen.
There are 5. But the inspector in charge, I can tell you, there are only 2 or 3. Because one, who is called Prince, he's always at the bank. And this man, Sergeant, is a CID man, going up and down. And in fact, sometimes the whole day, you won't get anybody, any policeman at the station. And the habit of the inspector is dampening the spirit of security here. Because last time, voluntarily, we arrested a vehicle loaded with beams. We sent it to. I called the inspector himself from the house. He brought the driver, the vehicle, and the load to the police around 4 a.m. But in the next 2 hours, they were gone. The driver, the vehicle, and the load were gone. I reported to the regional district officer and sent a copy to the regional minister, and they are still investigating. So sometimes, if not this Mr. Opoku and that man at the Prince at the bank, then if something happens, we'll get nobody. Because if you get hold for a criminal, it's only that we go to the bank and call Prince to bring the cell key. On Thursday, somebody was in cells. I came to inspector to release him because it was not a charge. So I came here, inspector agreed to release him. But instead of him to release him, he told me the key of the cell had been sent to farm. It would be labeled at the farm. So from morning to 3 p.m., that he opened the cell and said, he told me the key is with a laborer who have gone to the farm. Why?
All right. Well, it's a serious issue. It might sound funny and uninteresting, but it's very serious because there is security that we are talking about here. I mean, imagine sales key being taken to the farm, and wherever there's a need for it, somebody has to be called from the farm to bring the sales key. Your guess is as good as mine. But generally, security situation is not the best as far as Bosome Frehon is concerned. Maybe the police administration will have to do something about it. My name is William Evansin. We'll now go back to studios and join the midday team for more